Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another kicking action figure review. Today's review is over a Kamen Rider villain. I don't often review villains. And it is Zio, which is supposed to be Kamen Rider Zio or Geo in the future, where he's like a ruthless overlord. And I thought it was a cool design, and I did want the figure of him. I did not want to pay the figure arts price for a character from a show that I'm not super stoked on. Like, I'm not a big Geo fan. I got to about episode 5, and then I was pretty much done. And I'll finish it once the show is over, but until then, I don't really care. I'll just finish other Kamen Rider shows I started and didn't finish, like Ghost, another boring-ass show. And I'll probably start another one. More in the Super Sentai right now. But still, we got Zio here. I've heard some fan theories that Zio is not the future form of Kamen Rider Zio, even though that seems to be the case to me. But I've heard some fan theories that he's someone else just impersonating him. I don't really care either way. But I think he has a cool character design. Lots of nice gold, black. He's a little squishier, like he feels thinner, or maybe softer than some other ones I've gotten. Not up top, but down below. I noticed that right when I got him. He is supposed to be fully painted on the front. Most of these $6 vinyl dolls are fully painted on the front and then blank on the back, but for Zio, he's not exactly fully painted on the front. There's a huge mistake on his shoulders. Look at his shoulders. So the gold kind of comes up almost to the top of the shoulder, and then it's blank on the back. And that's about what I expected. But this one doesn't even go to the top, and this one kind of barely reaches the top. So it's not even painted evenly. And that's a big no-no to me. That's a big no-no for me. And I know I expected his clock handle cape thing, which is really cool, to be blank on the back when I got him. But I feel like it should have been silver on the front, you know? Show it off, you know, that's one of his coolest features if you ask me. I think that's the thing I like best about his outfit, are the big clock hands on his back. They're really cool. So that should be silver. I might just paint them myself because I am getting some paint for my own Toku show that I'm making. If you want to support that, check out the Patreon link in the description below. But yeah, I might need to paint those myself because I really hate them being black. And if I start to paint the front, I might as well just paint them full on the back as well. I mean, they're just a single color. They're just silver, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, other than that, other than those two complaints I have, he looks pretty good. That one is just a creative decision they made, but this one is just a straight up mistake. That's just a straight up mistake. That shouldn't have happened. So yeah, you know, detail and paint. See how thin he is? He like crunches in when I try to show you articulation. His articulation, he's got that waist turn. Look how soft he is. Look at that. Why is his bottom half so soft? But then he also has rotation on the arms. So the 3 points, also known in the kaiju collecting community as ultra articulation, which is a little ironic because it's not ultra at all. It's 3 points. But it's the articulation often found on Ultraman vinyl dolls as well, which is why it's called that. So I also have his card here. I don't think I showed you the card. He's number 11 in the line. There's his face, legal info. Now you'll never see that card again. Here he is compared with his past self, or I guess present self, Kamen Rider Geo or Zio, in his Forn's armor, or Fornze armor. Everyone pronounces this stuff differently, depending on whether you've read it a bunch romanized or not. So here he is. You know, they scale well together, I guess. Pretty cool. Here he is with the previous rider, in case you want to see that Kamen Rider build in his hazard form. I really like the hazard form figure. You don't really miss the paint on the back in hazard form because he's all black anyways. I already reviewed both of those, by the way, and I've already reviewed this figure, Kamen Rider Kamen Rider Guys in his Genmu armor. These are all just Rider Hero Series figures that you can get for cheap. The aftermarket on the build hazard form, you'll probably have to get them for like 15 to 20 bucks, but it's a really cool form, and it is aftermarket, so it's more understandable. But the 3 Zio figures I've showed you so far, you can get for like $6 at the time of recording this. And I also want to show just a few more. Here's an SH figure art. This figure art was released for the X-Age show and then was re-released under the 20 Kamen Rider Kicks banner with a new stand. It is X-Aid. So that's how he looks of a figure art. If you want him to scale with your figure arts, you're going to have to get the figure arts version of him. I would pre-order it if I were you. At the time of recording this, there are pre-orders up for it. It's not out yet. And then I'm going to show him with kind of the older style gimmick figure. They haven't done any gimmick figures like this exactly for Zeo. Here he is with Kamen Rider Ginmu. You know, the Dark X-Aid pretty much. And that's how he looks with those. So he'll scale the same way with the WAP series, Wizard Action Please is what that's called, and he'll scale the same way with the Tire Kokon line, etc., etc. Bottle Change Rider, they're all that size, about figure art size. But then they did a new gimmick line for Kamen Rider Zeo. They did a gimmick line called the Rider Kicks Figure Ride Armor series. And it's Kamen Rider Zeo characters that you snap armor onto. And then there was also a Legend Rider series that's mostly just X-Aid and build characters that we didn't really get from their gimmick series. And those figures aren't gimmicky, but they are the same scale as this. About 3 3/4 inches, maybe 4 inches. Yeah, it's about a 4-inch figure. And once again, he's not in this line, at least yet. So if you want a Zeo that scales with him, you're gonna need, you know, a Rider Hero series. But I like the Rider Hero series. They're cheap, they're 6 inches, and they look good in the front. So, you know, I like them. You know, you can get more characters the cheaper they are, and they're still nice figures. I've been buying Ultramen like this my whole life, so. Okay, now we're down to it. Final thoughts on Oma Zeo, the 11th figure in the Rider Hero Series Zeo line from Bandai Japan. I mean, I like him, but those shoulders really piss me off, you know? And I'm not really going to knock them so much for not painting the clock hands. They really should have been painted. They're a very prominent feature. They at least should have been painted on the front. But I'll let it slide because I understand why they did it. Once again, this is a $6 figure. And I wanted to scoop him up because lots of times figures of the villains and stuff don't last long. This one did though, so whatever. But that's it. Thank you all very much for the support. Just remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I have lots of reviews you might be interested in coming up. More Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, Super Sentai. I got some Pacific Rim stuff, some Ultraman stuff, Dragon Ball, Redman even, Star Wars, Marvel, and also some Universal Monster stuff. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all later.